of episode 13 of the Mainly Wrestling Show. I'm a very sober Jack Milner. That's a very drunk John Jacobs and a very tired Lissy Almeida right now. We're here to have a look at In Your House 18. I love the In Your House era. That was my new generation childhood. That's a different story. Bad Blood, October the 5th, 1997, the 25th anniversary of The Undertaker beating the shite out of Shawn Michaels in a cell. This it was a great time to be
No
alive.
spoilers.
I didn't say who won. I said he beat the shite out of Shawn Michaels in a cell. Thank you. Lissy, 97, a great time to be a wrestling fan.
Yes, great time. I know that everyone already knows, it's very well documented, that Lissy loved Purple Undertaker because that was like that first babyface Undertaker character. This is not Purple Undertaker.
He's becoming a little bit darker.
A little bit darker, a little bit edgier. Ministry vibes are
not Teardrop Taker though. That was a bit
not Prison
weird.
Taker. Yeah,
BSK.
Ooh, he's just reinvented himself so many times. It's actually remarkable. But yeah, 97, what a time. We're starting to turn in the ratings. Tell me.
97, not yet.
Not
WCW
yet,
have been
almost.
smashing it, but Austin's hot. Sean's now become his perfect role, right? He's become a massive heel prick.
Yeah.
Brett's there as champion. And
Why prick? Just be nice.
No, but that was what he's doing. That was the proper shimmying.
Yeah.
He wore a lot
Shimmying.
more. He had Rick Rude there, he had China. Sean was loving life again.
Yeah. He was in full swing of, the best version of Shawn at that time. When I say the best version, I mean the best TV version of Shawn. DX was formed and they were, on top. And just quick commercial here. Fast forward 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 25 years? 25 years.
25 years this week.
Wow. What is it? Who's running the asylum now?
I saw a meme which was at NWO. We're taking over. Well, Sean, I think you'll find it's actually us who are taking over. It's unreal to think the two people there in the opening promo there, Triple H and Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Shawn Michaels are now basically running the WWE. It's life comes at you fast. JJ, 97, what are your overriding memories, if any? Because you're such a baby still to this era.
97. So 97, obviously a really big year for me because FIFA 97 was the first FIFA football game that I really, really got into on the PS1.
I got FIFA 98, Road to the World Cup, Beckham on the front.
Road to the World Cup was very good, but I'll tell you what, FIFA 97, if you ran about 10 meters down from the halfway line on either side, right on the byline and press the square button full power, it just pinged into the top corner every time. And I used that against my dad so many times and he just had no idea what was going on because he really just used the X button. So we're still getting to grips with the PS1 at that point, whereas I was streets ahead of him at just 7 years old. Other thing to say, 1997, we're about a month out from Survivor Series 1997. Did anything significant happen there with anyone that was in this
Nothing
match?
worth mentioning.
Stone Cold defeats Owen Hart to become Intercontinental Champion.
And the other thing to say is, if you're like me and most of your knowledge of HBK was from 2002 onwards, go and check out a very, very excellent podcast, almost as good as this, How To Wrestling. They have just done like an almost 3-hour show on the history of HBK. And that was only his pre-1992 stuff. So it's really, really good listen. Check that out.
Why don't you ever want to? You never want to film 3-hour podcasts with us, JJ? What's going on?
Well, the thing is, we do a YouTube show, and that's a lot harder to sort of listen to in the background. The way that
we all need
the
we all need the same microphone. I've been telling you this for 6 months.
Yeah, I bought a microphone a good few months ago, and I don't use it anymore because it was trash.
Not this again.
Buy a good microphone. We all got to buy a good microphone together, and we can podcast this, and people don't need to look at our faces.
Sorry, what? Can you send me the listing again?
I have a lot on my plate right now.
Joseph,
text
me. Joseph, text me. I'll sort it out. Don't worry. Sorry. I'll get one delivered to Lissy because the birthday present I meant to send her I never completed. So I'll get one sent to her. and I'll get one personally hand delivered to Jack. I'm not going to do it like last time where they send the delivery driver away, and I'll get one delivered to me.
You'd mind that, Rose? I need to get the refund back for them. Mainly, I never ordered them mainly wrestling t-shirts for us. If Joseph is watching this, I promised him a t-shirt and a hoodie, mainly wrestling as well.
Joseph, we're sorry.
We love you, Joseph.
Joseph, call me.
Don't say that because he already thinks that you're really fit. Yo, mate, who's that really fit girl that does the podcast? She doesn't actually like wrestling, does she? Yeah, she really likes wrestling.
About me. He might be talking about me.
Really fit bird, American girl.
Well, listen.
Good hair.
You know what? Let's just watch the fucking show.
Yeah.
My dreams. What's that Joseph kid?
Fucking hell, let's go.
We had a magical weekend in Germany and taking us away from.
I'm sorry, what?
I'll tell you later.
Oh, there's
Me and Joseph have done filming before.
Oh, right, okay. Bet Victor sponsored some kind of, I'm presuming snooker or darts. It has to be a pub sport.
It was fun.
Right, so we're going to watch we're going to watch In Your House, Bad Blood, 5th of October, 1997. I think it's from the Keele Auditorium in St. Louis. Don't quote me on that. I think so. And we're going to start watching it at 2:04:41. That's the Heartbreak Kid being interviewed with he's now European title. So we're going to click play in 3.
Wait, we didn't say where to find it on the cock, or?
Oh, the cock.
Come on. If you're on the cock,
sorry.
If you're on the cock, like me.
Sorry.
That was French. If you're on the cook.
If you can find it, for the love of God, if you can find it.
It's like a human clitoris.
I still haven't found mine.
You got 2 kids, JJ. You're doing something right.
Fucking A. In Your House, season 3, episode 6, Bad, with 2 Ds.
2 Ds.
2 Ds. That is important because I searched for Bad Blood with 1 D and I couldn't find it anywhere. 2 Ds.
I remember the VHS. It was bad, smeared in blood because the Undertaker's just taken Shawn Michaels' head off. Great.
Double D.
God damn it, pal. I love this shit. 3, 2, 1. And you have Doc Hendricks, Rick Rude, Chyna, Triple H, Shawn Michaels.
Fucker. That wasn't at Shawn. Brother.
He would always chew gum like such an obnoxious prick. And I mean that in a complimentary way. He knows what he's doing.
Let me hear this.
Is there anything ruder than like chewing gum in somebody's face when they're talking to you?
Oh my God. So, right, I'll tell you the story after this promo.
Yeah, let's track this because it is a good promo. I don't compliment him often, but he is at his fucking best for everything.
Brilliant.
Triple H. Fuck off.
Can I just say?
Yes.
I remember Triple H versus Mick Foley, Hell in a Cell. And in that situation, Triple H is the HBK, Mick Foley is the Undertaker, right? If you're making comparisons. And Triple H was terrified of stepping into Hell in a Cell with Mick Foley. Whereas this guy is not putting over like any fear or anything. This fucking guy is not putting over any fear or anything.
He doesn't have to. He's the man.
Because again, Shawn, you can argue, is he going into business for himself? He knows. Look at the wording there. I'm the #1 performer in this business. And the thing is, with those old chair shots were great. Again, CTE, yeah. The Undertaker sold a chair shot like a fucking champ.
I love this vignette. Like they even like showed like all the girls and stuff. It's just everyone wants him.
I just need to let the viewers know I've lost my aircon controller, so the window is open. And there are some flies knocking about. You might see me grabbing at them and shit. Like, I got one of them. There's another one going around. He's really fucking annoying, and that's stressing me out. But referring to the gum that you said, I remember my first job interview on Skype for my job in Gibraltar. I was chewing gum at the time, and the only feedback that I got was like, the interviewer said, like, from the recruiter, she was like, the interviewer said you were chewing gum. I would advise not doing that in future job interviews. But anyway, I got the job and I moved here and it was all good. But I'm like, Didn't even realize they could cock that on Skype. I wasn't doing it as obnoxiously as HBK does it.
Nobody does it
But
as
since you said
obnoxious
that,
as
Jack, no one
HBK.
likes a guy that chews gum, apparently.
I did it
No.
once when I was doing. So, Lissy, as a bit of context, for about 3 years, I did all of Bet Victor's like TV stuff, and I was
Yeah.
at Newmarket on a Friday evening. Did a brilliant interview, talked about all the horses' odds, whatever, and the only feedback I got was, "You won't know a guy called Charlie McCann, so it make no sense." You'd be like, "Sorry, mate, what the fuck's going on with your mouth? Like, what do you mean, sorry, Charlie? You seem to have something on. You were doing." I was chewing gum. You're not taking this job seriously, or what's going on, mate? He's made it out like it was a heinous crime to chew gum whilst being interviewed on television.
Yeah, because it is.
And I never did it ever again.
If you talk to my dad with gum in your mouth, like
I didn't realize I'd done it. That's the thing. I spent all day traveling to get there, and like quickly.
no, it's not a thing.
It's not a thing. Peter, I was say Peter Maivia. Peter Almeida. Peter
Peter
Almeida would not appreciate Peter Maivia,
Peter Almeida.
the High Chief. No, it's been a long week. First thing, Alex
would like that.
First thing Alex Martin said to me, JJ early, was, "Fucking hell, mate, you look a bit pale." So I've barely been out in 2 weeks. Alex, like, "Yeah, you can tell." Cheers. Look at this. They're checking under the ring, make sure no one's lurking under there. Yeah, good old Sarge. Bob. They're really milking this. How long is this? Okay, we've got 40 minutes left. I'm so hungry. I don't know what it is, JJ. Do you not feel when it's really humid, I become so hungry out here?
Say again.
So when the humidity is really bad, Lissy, the humidity is really hard to describe. When the Levant is strong.
Jack, I live in Miami. You don't have to describe humidity to me.
Jib's weird. No, honestly, Jib is a weird place, a law to itself. Triple H is wearing one of the shittest shirts I think I've ever seen.
I knew you were gonna shit on him. I just didn't know like how soon or what it was going to be.
Lissy, I like to be consistent around this place. Papa H likes to be look,
Not Papa H.
Where's Rude? That shirt is awful. He's like he's at a Renaissance fair or something.
There's a lot going on.
I just got a Wordle into 2. Suck it.
Is that what you're doing with our time, John Jacob?
Look at Shawn's face. I'm the man. You see that? He's not. The thing is, with that interview as well, he never alluded to the fact he's going to win. I'm going to kick the Undertaker's ass. I'm going to show you how brilliant I am. You won't get that from a Bret Hart promo. Just saying. You won't get that from a CM Punk promo. His hair is. They used to have got very much hair like the Young Bucks at the minute. Do you know what? We've mentioned this before. I was very diplomatic before. Fuck the Bucks, right? Get rid of them out of AEW. I have no interest in watching them wrestle at all. Bring back CM Punk. CM Punk, who got a body slam over. I don't want to see a million flips and a fucking melter driver. Get him gone.
Imagine watching this, right?
And here's the bite.
If you were going to guess which 2 people would be running the company, like, I don't think HBK would be in anyone's thoughts. I mean, 2 of the people could have been running the company right now for obvious reasons. But
what do you mean?
Rude and China are dead.
I mean, just
that's
what I'm saying, right? But if you were going to choose 2 people who would be like big deals in the company still right now, would it be the 2 obnoxious bricks or the one in the business suit and the one that looks?
He went as a straight in front of China.
Would it be the 2 obnoxious bricks, or would it be the guy in the business suit and the woman who's looking there like very serious and business-like?
The thing is, JJ, Vince always loved Shawn. HBK was his boy, right?
I know.
So you imagine he would have had a job for life, or find him in a role for him. But yeah, it is weird to look back and think.
I'm just saying, it's wild how things go, isn't it?
Do you know? It wasn't until like this past again. I've had a bit more time in my hands this past week. I actually finally watched the Undertaker's The Last Ride documentary series.
Gotta go.
Really good. It's really, really good. It's really well shot, really well done. You think I'm
Also,
surprised?
it's wild when you say 25 years ago, because when you say 25 years ago, I'm like 1980.
Yeah,
Oh, no, right, 1997. Okay, right, fine, cool.
I'm definitely 1987 crew with 25 years.
Like, that's not 25 years
We're
ago,
old.
sure.
Yeah, we're old.
I'm so fucking old.
All
It's not.
all these
Anyone
kids
watching
who are
this,
now.
if you say 25 years ago, you mean to go 1980. Oh, no, no, 97. Okay,
This
Jesus
is
Christ.
this is peak Taker Andrews right now.
Yes,
This
correct.
was, but this was I think he turned into this like mid late '97, and this was up until like miniature days. So this was like up until like late '98. But the really slow walk,
Slower than slow.
and you hear Vince talk about the creatures alive.
Oh yeah, the creature of the night.
A Phenom, the dead man.
Not a lighter.
I can't believe he can get the lights on with his arms in the air. What a fucking guy. People can do that with an app on their phone these days. Lissy, right, I'll get this off in a sec, one sec. I'll go on another rant in a minute. Oh, fuck it. The amount of people, right, so we'll talk about the monarchy. Sorry, JJ, I know you don't care. But when Charles and William have been doing the walkabouts, the amount of people just been with phones just in their face, like,
Yeah, yeah.
fuck you. Learn some etiquette.
Just like enjoy the moment a little bit.
Every single one. Just
You're not watching a show.
I never do that because, like, do you know, like, when do you ever go back on your
never.
phone and watch the videos that you took like 3 years
Never.
ago? The only reason you do it is to post it on social media, right? And be like, look how close I was
Look
to
where
the
I
king
was.
or whatever. Like,
Even when
the
I
only
attend,
fucking reason you do it. And photos that I post these days are of like stuff that I do with the family or stuff with the kids. Like, if I go to a show or if I go to a gig or if I do something
enjoy
special,
the
like,
show.
I just keep my like, like if I go to a football match, I enjoy the football match. Like,
I'll
the
take
last
a
big one that I
snap or
went
two.
to,
I'll take a
I
snap
took
or
a
two.
photograph afterwards, after we were leaving the ground, like the group of people that I went with, like this is the event that we went to. So
Yeah.
that's only because I have like a Twitter page and like wanted to like post some content for the
You
match
run
that
the
I went to.
Wickham, you run the Wickham film. It's different. When I went to the cricket last month, right, a big deal for me. I loved it. I sent it in a few group chat. I think I posted it on Twitter once, and that was it done.
Yeah.
But I'm going to post stuff in group chats because it's private. Keep your life private. The world
I
doesn't need
like
to know what you're
filming
going up
like
to.
a 4 minute video of the king's walking near me, like or whatever situation you're in. Yeah, I'm the
Yeah,
same. I keep
it was more the fact for me. It was like
Obnoxious.
the guy was there. Used to play cricket with our team in gym. So, oh, by the way, but Fred's here. Okay, but
hmm,
if I posted that to people like on like Facebook, people don't care.
yeah.
Just
I mean, people don't
keep
care
your
about my
like.
kids to be fair, but like
But in
yeah,
general, as a rule of thumb, keep your life more private. People don't care what you're doing.
yeah.
Just rein it in. But the
Hmm.
people who are there filming everything, uh, I just don't get it. It's a time for mourning. It's time for somberness and respect. I hate
Monsters.
modern
They're
generation.
monsters.
We're all
So
fucked. We're
this
all
is going to be
fucked.
really interesting for modern fans. Like we see Hell in a Cell, you know, every other month near enough. There's probably 3, 4 a year these days. This was the first ever one, and it's going to be interesting to see how they utilize this new
Oh, look
environment.
at that. Look at that bump. Straight away. Shawn flips into the ropes, big boot, and he's selling it like a champ. He can't get up. So a bit of backstory, a bit of context. So
Hmm.
Shawn lost his smile in March because he was
You love. See, the thing is, it's not that you reflect on this. It's the fact that like you get so much enjoyment from talking about this particular incident. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I had a clip. I've got a clip of Shawn at WrestleMania 13 coming out doing his big entrance, and I was gonna like this was literally 3 weeks after he lost his smile, and he's there dancing down it. I didn't with the bigger man. Anyway, he lost his smile in the end of end of February, early March, and then he came back end of April. I think he won the tag titles with Austin. Yada yada. But at SummerSlam, he was special guest referee. Brett versus Taker, smacked Taker over the head with a chair.
Whoop.
Bret became champion. Feud ensues, and the last 3 or 4 weeks into this, Shawn and Triple H are forming an alliance. Rick Rude joined them, and they've just became annoying the Undertaker, basically.
And listen, look, if you're watching this and you've lost your smile, ignore Jack laughing at you. Mental health is a serious thing. And look,
You
Shawn
motherfucker!
Michaels
I'm in
lost his
counselling.
smile,
What are you talking about?
and he came back 5 years later and had the best time of his career. So
That's
listen, look
because
after
of
your mental
God. It's
health,
got nothing to do with
take
counselling.
care of yourself, do what you need to do to bring that smile back, baby, because you're the best.
I can't believe you have absolutely.
If you're watching this, send help.
JJ is the only one on this podcast without a therapist, and he's talking. I can't believe, outrageous. Dr. Karen, if you're out there, hello. I'll see you next week, darling.
Trying to see if my accent will cover for me.
I'll send you links out to pre-authorized. Don't worry, I know how to use the system. This surgery on Snake Eyes. This surgery is costing 13 grand. That's kind of why Mansion went.
Yeah. Bastard.
I've been limping around like Shawn after a great sell job here. Speaking of which, the story of this match is basically the Undertaker just beats HBK for half an hour, and he just sells it like he's dying.
We can see this so far.
Yeah.
But that's the idea, and that was the idea. But this is the first of a Hell in a Cell match, right? It's trying to, which makes sense. I never understand why WWE cage matches are you have to escape the cell. This is the bad guy has been evading the good guy for a long time.
Yeah.
Now he can't escape.
That was a leg drop, isn't that a finish in '97?
Finisher.
Brother. Yeah.
The best finisher of all time.
I love a backdrop. We don't see backdrops anymore.
Oh, never.
Isn't it sad how many finishing moves and like big moves have just become like transition moves? Like Undertaker would use the pile driver and it would be like, oh shit, that's it. Now it's like now we see a Canadian destroyer every other week. It's like cool, that's fun. I enjoy the fact that Hobbs is like got a backdrop over. Yeah, spinebuster, just like, oh, that's it. If you take a spinebuster from a meathead like Hobbs, you're done. There's no getting up from that shit.
Let's take out the teardrop. Let's take out the teardrop here still.
Don't get me started on the super kick. Don't get me started.
You take a super kick and you take a pile driver.
Slap your leg
as
well.
These two people in this match, that would be the end of it, right? And nowadays it's like, pile driver is just a transitional move. Super kick, you need about 7 of them. Just stupid.
Stupid. I hate them.
Where's he going? He knows he can't escape, right?
I got a retweet from Chris Jericho. Yay!
You personally?
No, wrestling 80s, 90s.
Wrestling 80s, 90s.
On Twitter. Yeah, JJ.
I love that now he's calling himself the Lionheart again. It's very touching. I don't know why.
Because he's actually in shape and can work again. Whereas like last year, not so much. Was it last year he did the weird stuff with Orange Cassidy?
First of all, I hated when he was
love this clothesline. Again, I've watched this match back so many times. Kids nowadays will never know. When you had like 8 or 9 literal, maybe 10 wrestling videos, I would watch them so often. I knew everything that would happen, and I'd still get excited watching them.
There's no gratification anymore.
So it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. You're right, and you can just go and search them online straight away. And if you want to watch, if you want to watch like a certain clip or a match, to get on YouTube, you'll find it. It's just weird. Like we've grown up at such a different time to.
Well, Jack, I think we had to wait for stuff.
Yeah, very much so. But it meant more then.
It meant more, exactly. Like even if you went and you saw a movie in the cinema, right?
I know straight away. Shawn Michaels is going to counter this and punch him in the face and use the hold on to the cell.
It's scary. It's scary that you know that.
I've watched this. This is one of like literally. a handful of videos I was allowed to have.
Allowed. I love it.
Allowed. My dad hated wrestling, thought it was stupid shit. This video was an 18 certificate 18 in the UK. So I went to buy it myself with my own pocket money, right? So this was like 10th of October. In the UK, we had to wait like 2-3 months for videos to come out.
Yeah.
So my birthday is the 6th of December. This came, look at Sean's face, he's so pilled up. This came out on my birthday. I went to buy it and he went, "You're not 18, you can't buy this." It's a wrestling video. I had to get my mum to come in with me and let me buy it. Just such it's so weird. You think again, we talk about the Queen's like lineage, right? 70 years on the throne. How things, ma'am, how things have changed in our 25 years since this happened.
What a time.
Like my nephew, who turns 15 next month, just has no idea what life
they don't have to wait for anything. That's what I was saying. Like, you want to watch a music video, it's on YouTube. You want to hear a song, you have Spotify, you have Apple Music. If you want to watch a movie, you don't even need to go to the cinema anymore. Like, you can watch it on Amazon or whatever. Like, or if there's a movie that you see in the cinema and it's on Amazon, in a couple of weeks, it's going to be on Amazon anyway, so it doesn't matter. Like, when we were little, if you saw a movie in the cinema, it was next year that you were going to get the VHS.
Or you'd have to wait. Say if it was like came out like September, October, you've got to hope that maybe the year after it might be one of the Christmas movies that came on.
Yes.
You can get it for free.
So sad. Like, I mean, but we had to wait. We're that last generation of we had a little bit of technology, but we still had to kind of rough it. So
yeah,
hybrid skills.
You got shitnet technology, so you had to kind of have patience with it at the same time. Like, I remember sitting for like 5-6 hours with WinMX or Kazaa or Napster.
LimeWire.
Yeah, LimeWire. That ruined my my old laptop.
Broke every laptop.
Yeah. Just to try and get a few songs or a few clips. Like, embarrassing. Speaking of technology, Lissy, how did you feel with Coco Melon?
What? That stuff is for brainwashing. Oh my God.
Lorraine won't let George watch those shows yet.
Yeah, Mila was not exposed to those very early. She's most recently started watching them. It's literally like a trance that little kids get in when they watch it. It's crazy. I don't know what they have it like.
Jack, you know that little Harvard shows them on the TV in there, right?
Yeah, she said she's told them to not try to. Yeah, as soon as you drop the kids off, there's like Peppa Pig on the big screen.
Yeah. I wanted to avoid him ever seeing Peppa Pig because I can't fucking stand it. Like,
his favorite toy is a little George pig doll that I picked up. This is Peppa Pig and this is my little brother George.
Have you seen there's like a clip of like a little boy and he's like American and they're like, who's this? He's like Peppa Pig and they're like, who's this? George. Like, it's just so cute because he says it with
he's so British.
Mm-hmm. It's super cute.
It's like George is a very British word, right? So like her mum, who's very Irish, it sounds so weird in her accent. George. George kind of has to be said in a British voice. It's a very regal thing. George. Prince George, the heir to the throne. Your throne, JJ.
Second in line, baby. Let's go. Oh, this one. Prince George.
Bloody hell.
We shouldn't celebrate these things.
What? We're not celebrating anything.
Oh, Tope Suer, see there? A mate of mine has backed Danny Willett to win this golf tournament. £5 win at 300 to 1. He's got 4 foot to win at 18. £5 win at 260 to 1. Why don't I ever get those wins? Oh, never mind.
You okay over there?
I'm fine, yeah. Life is all right. Life is good, Lissy. We can't come.
Okay, honey.
I'm trying to work out what accent that was.
Oh, my grandma says that.
John, you're not a man for very few accents.
Me?
Yeah, why do we hear you demonstrating your accent ability?
I can
Speak
only do one
American
accent.
English, Sean.
I can only do one accent, and it's never been relevant for this podcast, so
What accent would that be?
not necessary, is it? Never done it. Never needed to.
But I mean, you've alluded to it now. Oh, that's a really
Because
soft.
you mentioned it.
It's a really soft steel steps shot from HBK there. Come on, lay it in,
Very
brother.
sure.
If the situation arises and it's needed, I'll bring it out. I'm not a show off, you know me. Do what's needed to get by.
Okay. We'll just hope and pray that it comes up someday soon.
Yeah, what
Fingers crossed.
situation would need to arise for you to bring this accent out?
Maybe we have like a wrestler with the accent that I can do who runs a promo and we talk about it on this show.
No, I get the parameters, but I'm saying
From
what
an African country?
Say again?
Is it from an African country?
No.
Great pile driver. Great pile driver.
Thank
Is it
you for
from
your
an
interest,
Asian
Lissy.
country?
Asian?
Uh-huh.
No.
Australasia?
No.
South America?
No.
Is it Canadian?
Fucking continent by continent. So it's European.
See. It's not Spanish.
I was guessing Italian based on that.
No,
Oh my.
it's not that either.
Oh my
Jesus.
god.
I'm not going to pull out Santina Morella. Oh my god.
By the way, if you again, neither of you follow most of the stuff we post, but William Regal made his WWE debut, his second debut, after being a man's man, 22 years ago today.
R.I.P.
Where he's not dead, darling. Stephen William Regal, and he was a goodwill ambassador from Britain to the United States. Can't believe he was in the company for 21 more years.
Wow.
I was listening to a podcast, right, about how you would fix AEW, right, given its current. We're going off on a tangent here.
Yeah.
Given the fact that Regal has done so much stuff with talent relations, as has Jim Ross, why are they not in more prominent roles in the company? Rather than people like Tony Schiavone and Chris Daniels and fucking Sanjay Dutt. Yes, Lisa, you have the floor.
I'm just gonna assume it has to do with Tony not wanting
delegation.
to have...
Right? That's where you're going.
Yes, exactly. He wants to be his own man in his own company, his own style, and all of that. And I feel like that would be a very heavy influence if he did let those guys. And maybe they don't want to either. Like JR is
True.
He's very, very tenured and he's, probably closing his career out soon. So he's probably and that's a strenuous job. Like you have to deal with a lot of people's BS. He probably doesn't want to do it either.
It was not so JJ, you've not watched we don't want to lay claims to when we're filming this compared to when you watched, but say last week's Dynamite, JR wasn't on the show. And the week before,
give it away when we were recording. But
yeah, pretty much. The week before, yeah, the same outfits. So the week before there was a comrade on his ad-free shows network did a Money for Mongo like charity too.
Yeah.
Right.
And JR got quite drunk and starts telling niche stories about that time when we got that flight and you took the robe off and you got the thing out, and Flair's like, all right, come on, Jim, let's move along now.
I got canceled from the whole wrestling world for that. Like, don't talk about it.
Good
Now.
story. So anyway, the Nature Boy was windmilling that thing. He's ixnay on the
his arm.
on the baby's arm, and I thought it was noticeable that JR wasn't on Dynamite last week. But that's like what the last 6-8 weeks he'd been coming on to do the second hour.
Yeah. If you think nursing a hangover in your 30s is tough, Try doing it in his 60s,
70s.
Do you know from experience?
70s. I'm just saying, based on the fact of who was on Dynamite this week,
Ooh,
still recovering.
boy.
Oh,
Well,
great boot there.
Big boot.
By the way, Lissy, the hair is looking tremendous, by the way.
thank you. It's filthy.
It's a
It's
little
just
No,
I'm
no,
not
he's
the
talking about
colouring. Have we
Sean,
got
not yours, Sean.
it's a little bit of ginger in there.
no, it's not ginger. It's actually like very blonde in the back. Can you see it?
I
So
can
is
see
this
it, yeah.
something? He's taken out the. Oh, okay.
It's just filthy. That's all. It needs a wash. So it
It
has a
looks
little.
wonderful,
So
darling.
Thank you. Thank you.
this
Anyway,
is
so
this
this
is
spot,
this is a really smart spot. And go on, Jack. You know it better than me.
Pat Patterson inspired spot. So they have to find a way to have a reason to open the cage, right? The big selling points. No man can come in, no man could come out. Well,
Yeah.
the cameraman's got in the way of a bump, and then Sean's beating him up. Well, we've got to get him out because that man has a family, right?
Now he's half dead.
He has a family, he's half dead. So they have to find a reason to get outside. And they found a reason to go out on top of the
Oh
cage.
my God.
It's very clever. Again, Pat Patterson was a genius for this type of stuff. Get a fish, get a smash, and get him out there.
And he has sold it like he is KO'd.
He just fell like a sack of
Give that
potatoes.
guy a 2-year contract. I mean, look.
Or like a sack of potato skins at a nice restaurant. All right, JJ?
Yep.
This fucking
Listen,
guy. This
I
fucking.
told you that in
fucking
confidence. How dare you speak
How
to me
dare
in
you?
that manner? That is unacceptable, and I will not stand for
So the accent he alluded to was a
it.
very, very Protestant version of a Northern Irish accent. The Democratic Unionist Party will rise again. I am Ian Paisley, and Sinn Féin and Jerry Adams will feel the wrath of the Protestant Party. God save your Queen. Hey, Sarge. Lissy, if you want to get...
How's he going to help anybody?
That's the elbow drop.
Jerry's such a low-key prick,
Lissy, you
as
want
well
some...
as being a high-key prick.
Who, Jerry?
Yeah.
I thought you got...
Yes.
Was in Jerry Adams?
Smaller.
Jerry Adams.
You talk about Northern Irish politics on a fucking wrestling podcast.
Jerry Adams as a king.
Have I drank this full bottle? Oh, fuck's sake.
Confirmed.
Oh, I'll go to Morrison. Is Morrison's closed tomorrow? I think it is, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, I think I've got...
Why is that? What happened? Why is it closed on a Monday?
Tomorrow is a day of mourning for the world, not just
Sweet
for
chain music. He took his head off.
not just for
He sat up. At 8 o'clock this evening, JJ, 9 o'clock in our case. Did you have a minute of reflection for Her Majesty the Queen?
I hope so. I did.
I did.
3 o'clock my
Lorraine nudged me. She's an Irish one. Uh-oh. This comes the... I want to call it a monkey flip, but that's not the right term, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, kind
Monkey
of.
flip,
No,
right.
slingshot.
And slingshot, that's the one. Sean juices and bleeds
You guys-
a bucket.
You guys know I've had a drink and you're trying to bait me in with this monarchy talk. I'm not falling for it.
John,
Not
have I
falling
mentioned
for it.
Jay Lethal?
I'm not
No,
falling for it.
I'm not. There's no baiting
I'm
going
not
on.
falling for it. It's bait. I'm not falling for it.
Look, I've got a sports
Okay.
Geeter account. I'm dealing in clickbait now.
I'm
Darling,
not. I'm not falling for it.
I've got to pay the rent.
Don't worry.
Taker was so good at this, and this
There will
looks
be no monarchy.
this always looks so bad. Just throws him head first, lawn darts him as JR calls it.
Boom.
JJ, I will say
fact-
one thing. I will say one thing, and I will agree with you. The sudden glorification of Prince Andrew again. What the fuck?
Oh, no one wants to hear from him.
He released a
No.
statement this morning. You're thinking, just keep quiet. Just stay in the background.
You're
Shut the fuck
lucky
up.
that you're here. Like, just go.
He was very lucky that he was the Queen's son. He was a mummy's boy.
Favorite son.
As soon as Charles has got that throne, he is completely fucked. You know, Lissy, you know.
Fucking hell.
And not by children like he'd like to be.
The thoughts of
There he is.
the thoughts of John Jacobs do not reflect the views of what mainly wrestling nor the presenters on the podcast. Just wanna, for legal purposes, just want to clarify that.
Are we incorporated somewhere?
Limited company.
I've
actually just registered the domain as well. Mainlywrestling.com.
Listen, I have zero love for the monarchy as a system. I appreciate people such as Queen Elizabeth
I'm not going to be baited.
Who did good things. I don't appreciate people who did bad things and hid behind a system they were born into. Is that a reasonable take? I think that's a reasonable take.
That's very, very fair. Uh-oh, this is going to get counted. I like the fact as well, something like a backdrop right onto the cage is being sold as like, it could have killed him.
It could have killed him.
Okay, rub that head into it.
Rolling around
You'll
up there.
see blood dripping down.
Unsteady. No, the footing was unsteady up there, though, honestly.
Well, people forget, like, when it was Mankind v Taker, right? Taker wrestled that match with literally a broken ankle.
Mm-hmm.
And you think, you wonder why people have such respect for Undertaker, because he was, during the time of, like, them being the shits, right? What, 94, 95, 96?
He was there.
He was there showing up. And then he was there to, even during the hottest run, what, he left at, well, he left mid-2000?
Came back in a midlife crisis.
I think.
Can I just say, like, they did so much in this match that made you so excited for what could come in the future Hell in a Cell matches, because they didn't go through.
Like, you're waiting for Shawn to fall off the cage.
Right. They maximize the drama out of everything as well.
Yeah.
And so the next time a Hell in a Cell came, you're like, oh my God, someone might go through the cage or might fall off the cage, which we obviously know they did. But at the time, you were like, Jesus, like, this is so fucking dangerous.
I remember this again.
I mean, don't downplay it. It was dangerous, and it still is.
Of course. I mean, even that bump that we just seen, like, that was a big one, and
huge
for the time. But like going through the cage to the mat, going off the top of the cage through a table.
Did you let me track it?
Never.
Why is he throwing papers? It's always a Spanish announce table. As a kid, that Spanish announce table was cursed.
Relentless.
I remember there was a match. I think it was Lesnar versus Undertaker, just off the top of my head, on a SmackDown, and they were like, "This is such a big night that we have to have the Spanish announce table." And this was like in 2000 and whatever, 2, 3, 4, something like that. It was Lesnar versus Taker in the main event of SmackDown. They were like, "We have to have the Spanish announce table here because this is such a big night in wrestling history." And I was like, okay, even as like a whatever I was, 12, 13, 14-year-old, I was like, okay, so if someone's going through a table then and they need the Spanish announce table there.
That's the cue.
But they did a good job of being like, oh, they have to be here because this is a huge main event kind of thing. Like, that's a small fall, isn't it? What's that? 6 foot?
Pretty much, yeah. But it was that noise, it was that scream in the background that made it. And again, that was replayed.
I mean, he also fell on the TV, guys. That couldn't have been fun.
The monitor.
But look at this. Again, the whole promise of this.
The Crimson Mask.
Oh. God bless Gordon Soley. And they're locking him back in, and Michaels has been beaten, he's been blooded. Taker is beating to a shout.
But is the cameraman okay?
We'll never know. So, what was a bigger Hell in a Cell fall? Mick Foley being tossed off the top by Undertaker, or Rikishi being thrown off the top
I hated the Rikishi one.
onto a
That was,
truck.
do you know what? So the Rikishi one, I turned 13 that week, and I'm starting to get a bit bored of wrestling. And I remember watching that going, why the fuck is there like a truck next to the Hell in a Cell match filled with like, it looked like hay, and he just so happened to shoved him off onto it. Like, that's really, I can get over certain stuff right in wrestling, but I remember thinking that looks really phony.
It was too set up.
Yeah, so
Rikishi said
contrived.
in an interview, I can't remember when or with who, but he was like, they covered it with hay, so it looked like it would be like a softer landing, but they removed all the suspension from that truck. So it had like zero give, and the hay did fuck all. He just basically landed from like 20 feet onto a wooden platform that had no give, and he just went slam.
Trash.
And, he's a big guy, obviously.
Big.
So he was like, my back was fucked, and it looked like shit. And because of the hay, it looked like I was falling onto some soft surface. Whoa, something's happening. Some music is playing. Who could this be? Is it Bray Wyatt? Is he coming back?
No.
No?
Oh, yes.
Who's this guy?
That's gotta be Kane.
Looks like a politician of some kind.
I can't
Some
even do it.
right-wing lunatic.
JJ, this will be today. This was happening.
Get your lighters out.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Kane.
Gotta
They
be.
locked the door. Tim White is going to take a. Is that Tim?
Oh.
Wow.
I remember for the next 3 months, Kane wrestled matches in this red light, and I find it so creepy.
They did that with the Fiend too.
Yeah, and it looked shit.
Look at him, he's taller than the Undertaker. So
it.
again, around this time, right? So my parents are split up. I'd go to my dad's every Friday night after school for the weekends, and he had Sky Sports. It was brilliant. So I
loved it that my parents split up. It was great.
I watched Raw every Friday night. Sky Sports 3, 10 o'clock. And I was very impressionable, but this was scared the shit out of me. I was 10 years old.
I mean, in your defense, this was very scary stuff.
Look at this, Kane trying to find the hard camera.
There it is. No,
couldn't even see out of that.
It's changed. Oh, fuck it, I'll do it here.
Oh my god, it's just so uncomfortable. Ah.
But listen to the crowd. I don't know what to make of it.
At this time, had there been like the lore of Kane? Like, had that been a thing? Did anyone know?
Or Bear had alluded to him since about 6 weeks ago.
Okay.
Kane, your brother's alive, Undertaker. He's alive.
Right.
And he's gonna come back and make your life hell. Yeah, so for 6-7 weeks.
He basically called Undertaker's mom a hussy, and
I was doing that thing with your mom, Undertaker. Oh yes.
It was uncomfortable. I distinctly recall.
3.
Hebner was so good for the slowest 3 count ever.
But the quickest t-shirt sales outside of the venue. What a guy.
What? Kane?
No, Hebner.
Oh, Hebner. Oh my god.
Look at the way he flips him off and he bounces.
Ooh.
So again, Undertaker looks like a killer. He's beat Shawn Michaels for half an hour. Shawn still wins, keeps the heat.
Yep.
And Kane looks like an absolute monster. He's just made his debut.
He is an absolute monster.
Yeah. Brilliant booking.
Everyone
Brilliant
went
ring.
over.
Everyone
Amazing.
gets over. Superb.
Shawn can't even get out the ring.
He's helped up and helped out by 2 people. And he's barely alive.
Face covered in a crimson mask.
This is Triple H before he's had another alleged steroids cycle.
Stop it.
Alleged. We're gonna get like four lawsuits from this podcast.
I won't stand for it.
Remember, Vince would always say, "You got to send the people home happy, pal." Unless it's Shawn Michaels. Triple H is enjoying his crotch shopping.
He has to do it
Why
for
wouldn't you?
Look at the look on his face.
This is the thing, like you'll never have a moment like this again, right? Because no one knew who this wrestler was. Like now, if this happens, that oh, this guy wrestled in X promotion, and it's this guy, and it's like
Yeah.
this was just like a
Well, also, I mean, he
completely
had a mask
brand
on,
new
so
guy
that
who was instantly a star.
Yeah. Well, because like you think about that time, right? Undertaker was like the biggest, baddest guy in the locker room, period.
The man.
So Kane came in and made light work of him, and that automatically was like, oh shit, who's
Yeah.
this guy?
Yeah.
Also, we have no idea what he looks like, so we've never seen him before. He could, I mean, was he Isaac Yankum? I don't know.
He was also
But that's the thing as well. When you're
fake,
when you're a kid
diesel.
watching this and you see Kane, even when you see him later on, you don't go, "Oh, that's Isaac Yankem that I knew 5, 6, 7 years ago, whatever."
It's
like
gotta be Isaac Yankem.
It's just a person. Whereas now, if it happened, it's like, "Oh, that's El Generico." Yeah.
Within 10 seconds, you Google and you're like, "Oh, this is this guy. This is where he came from. He used to do this." Like, there was that allure, and the business was so protected at that time, right? We had like 2 magazines, and the magazines were not covering anything real life. Like the magazines, like again, still
they were
protected.
kayfabe,
Yeah. So we didn't know what we had, guys. Just
we'll keep chasing that dragon.
Was it CM Punk
who said brother?
I think it was CM Punk who said the grass isn't always greener, just you got to water where you are.
Yeah.
He's a man.
He never does.
It's a very wise man.
Take your own advice.
Oh, it failed. Like, I mean, JJ, should we have a side bet which one of CM Punk or the Elite are in AEW this time next year? How'd you price it? One, Punk only, Elite only, both. How would you price it? I think Punk only is like 8-1.
No, bigger.
Oh, really? 16s?
Yep.
The Elite only would be like 4-5.
Yep.
Both
3-1 or thereabouts.
I was gonna say like maybe 15-8.
Yeah, you basically got a 2-horse race with a one outsider. And
yeah, I think we need to teach you some odds, Lissy. So
yeah.
I'm just here, guys. I'm just here.
You're just here. Lissy, what did you think of the match? Your boy.
Well, I mean, I saw it live. I remember that time.
You saw it live? You ordered the pay-per-view?
Of course, we saw it live.
You and the Hermanos?
Me and the boys,
Were you the only one cheering on Shawn?
No, actually, we were kind of split at the time. But people traded sides very often back then, so
fickle.
It was
Danielson alluded to this, yeah. Wrestling fans are fickle, yeah.
So fickle, period, right? But no, I mean, I was a lifelong Shawn fan. I just want to put that down. I mean, it's a great match. It's a classic. And like I said, who would have thought 25 years later, who's at the front, who's running the show, who's at the helm? These 2 guys.
NXT's in the shits. JJ. Shut up. Shut up. Bring back Barry Windham. JJ,
Shut up, man.
That was a great match, wasn't it?
It was very enjoyable. I think
the old JJ without the wine would have stopped there going, very enjoyable match, Jack.
No, I think we covered the points, like the smart way that they managed to get themselves out of the ring, the way that they alluded to all of the amazing things that could happen in a Hell in a Cell match that they didn't quite give us. Like the fear that you had when the two of them were on top of that cell. Oh my God, if one of them goes through it, how fucking mad would that be? And so when there's another Hell in a Cell match, however long down the line it is, you're like, shit, what's going to happen, kind of thing. So yeah, like really good match. And like you said, the way that they got every single person involved in that match over, genius booking.
That's the thing, genius booking, the fact that everyone comes out looking better than before the match actually started, before they went into the match. You realize there is such an art to it, as opposed to like you look at the match between Taker and Big Boss Man at WrestleMania 15, which is awful, and they end up hanging the Big Boss Man. You think it's just lazy. That's done so cleverly. It's like, and I always try to make a claim to like the missus, right, who doesn't really like wrestling. I said, when it's done right, there is such an art to it. There's an elegance to it. Like the Omega Danielson match, when wrestling is well done, it looks really good. She still says
really good,
but I will try and persist. I'm pretty sure the boy will end up liking wrestling. I hope so. God willing. Otherwise, it will be pushed down his throat like Roman Reigns in 2017. Acknowledge me. Lissy, JJ, any thoughts for the rest of October? What do you want to watch?
It's September, buddy.
This is going out on the first week of October. Lissy, fucking hell.
I'm sorry, I slept for 2 hours last night. I'm so tired.
This is like the Jeremy Clarkson, who wants to be with it? Do you want to go get change? No, shut up. Don't tell them that. This is TV land.
Well, that's all, folks.
Do you know what? It was quite fun looking at AEW stuff last episode and this episode, looking at like a completely different from a completely different era. I think it would be cool to do a bit of both for the next two episodes.
I think we'll try and do the same. We'll try and get two in the evening again.
You
tell by the clothes. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Approve. King Charles III approves that. Excellent.
So based on the discussion we just had, we'll just bump them all together. Who will be an active signed wrestler for AEW on October 1st, 2023? Bucks only, 4-6. Both Bucks and Punk, 5-4. Punk only, 8-1.
Have you sent this through to Greg in after our
not yet, no.
Go through the odds again. Who will be
4-6?
What's the
who will be an active signed wrestler for AEW on October 1st, 2023?
Right.
Bucks only, 4-6. Both Bucks and Punk, 5-4. Punk only, 8-1.
I need the word active wrestler to be defined.
On the roster or on the payroll?
Before I put a bet on, what does active wrestler mean? Minimum of 3 or more matches in the calendar year?
Like, is he wrestling actively, or is he just on the payroll?
So I've started listening to Mick Foley's podcast, which
minimum. What you said there, minimum 3 or more matches in the calendar year seems reasonable, because we're looking at October. So you've got October, November, December. That's 3 months, a pay-per-view, and 2 big shows probably. Winter is coming, and
Mick Foley said he signed a deal with WWE in 2004, which was 3 matches a year for 3 years, and he got like $4 million, which seems easy work. And he had the same deal. That's why he went to TNA in 2008, because they offered him like a similar deal and offered him more money. But yeah, I think active is really, because wasn't the Big Show? Would you class the Big Show as an active wrestler for AEW? Didn't he wrestle on a pay-per-view last year?
Oh no, no.
You think you look at AEW's right? Why Big Show, Mark Henry, fucking TK spent a lot of money. These guys, he's got a lot of guys.
How many times have to say this? We're just collecting nice things. That's it, okay? He's collecting things from his childhood that he admires.
Well, he could use if he wanted to.
There.
He likes options.
Exactly. But I mean, neither of them are like gonna main event anything for him. I mean, I'm hopeful that he's using them for some business knowledge and, training and things like that. But Mark Henry's out here. He's announcing the main event every week. So on the Friday show.
For the main event.
Listen, I would take that check. I'm not mad at him.
I mean, you need to get like a similar type of gimmick, surely, Lissy. When you announce the main event at CCW, what do you have a style, or do we have a?
I'm sorry, do you watch my work?
Now and again, darling. But
I'm winging it every week.
I'm going to define it as either a current title holder in AEW or one or more matches between October 1st and October 1st, 2023 and January 1st, 2024.
What?
That's what I'm defining as a current active.
So two or more matches.
One or more.
Three.
No.
I think the title holders irrelevant. 2 or more matches in a 3-month cycle.
If they are there in the company, like if CM Punk gets fired between now and then,
he won't get fired.
Or he has like one farewell match or something and doesn't wrestle from after October. It's not Punk.
From a branding standpoint and an association standpoint.
Might have an association with them and not have a match. I mean, look,
you gotta remember when Bet Victor got bought out, right?
Here we are.
They still use Victor Chandler's image and likeness for 3 years after he was bought out.
Yeah, bear in mind, after the fallout from All Out, Punk and the Bucks weren't mentioned, but when they referenced the video game, Punk was there in the on the front of the video game, front and center. So
absolutely,
yeah, he's still there from a branding standpoint.
Kenny Omega's there in Japan plugging it. Yeah,
they are not going anywhere. Period.
T.
So Lissy is on the boat.
What's the necklace? Fucking hell, Lissy. I can't believe you even asked that question the way. What's the necklace?
I would never wear that shit.
Can I? It's a bit basic. What is the difference between period and period? The T at the end.
Period.
It's like
I don't know. Do I? As Lissy,
it's like with that extra like attitude or sass on the end, like period. Like it's not like.
But what does the T mean?
Like period. Like it's with this. This is the T. Like it's with.
All right, you like the
just extra emphasis. That's
Jack,
all.
Try and say period, but then add a T on the end. Period.
Period.
Like you have to say it's like with emphasis.
I don't have the sass to do it, darling.
No, and and when you say it, you have to do this, or it's just not working. Like.
Period.
There.
You're not doing it. Period.
Just leave him. He got it.
I'm too white. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I'm too. Look, I do my minute silence to the Queen today.
I'm too white.
I'm too white. Right.
Know your strengths.
In the words of again, The Rock said when he first went into the Nation of Domination, Ron Simmons, hey, know your role, shut your mouth. Know your role. Okay, yes, sir. That's been episode 13 of the Midland Wrestling Show. John, so you want to, going forward, you will watch an AW show recently and a classic pay-per-view. That's the happy with your balance?
You know what? We should put it to a Twitter poll. I'm pretty sure I said this last time.
Do you have the login? When was the last time you tweeted on our Twitter account?
We did some old school ROH stuff before, and that was popular.
John.
Yeah, let's just go back and forth. Let's do like AEW or ROH, and then
When was the last time either of you tweeted from our Twitter account?
I was kicked off the Twitter.
10 seconds ago.
That's not true, Lissy. The password is still the same as it has always been.
It's been removed from my profile.
That's not true.
How is it not true? I'll show you right now.
I don't have the power to do that.
I'm just telling you.
Okay.
Okay, we'll talk about this off air.
Yeah. JJ, do you want the logins?
I got them. I'm going to tweet in about 5 seconds.
God, be scared.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my
In a bad
God.
way. Oh my god! I've been Jack Milner. She's been Lissy Almeida, and he's been drunk. We'll see you next week for episode 14 of the Midland Wrestling Show. Ta-ra!